If you ever want to veer off and do a Frank Stallone podcast, let me know.
No, that won't happen.
Any of you people out there that find humor in this, you're really a sick, vapid person. You got no soul. If you think it's funny, you people should be ashamed of yourself.
All right, Dom, how you doing?
I am good. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing pretty good. I am doing well. It's good to see you again on another episode of whatever the show is now.
I was just thinking the same thing, whatever it is, whatever it's become.
Well, we did talk about it. So if you're listening to this episode on our Rambo podcast, thanks for joining us, guys. We will get to the Rambo cartoons when we get to them. We said we're just doing the mini series. So really, there's only 2 episodes left anyway, so there's no rush to finish the last 2 episodes. Speaking of which, though, Dom, you might find this interesting. So remember my buddy Zip, who guested with us a couple episodes ago?
Yes, good old Zip.
He bought for me from some Chinese pirated type company to give me the box set for Rambo. Remember?
Right. Yes, I remember.
Well, because this store is probably run by mom pa shop type dealio. It could be, who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be Chinese, Russian, who knows, or just good old fashioned American mom pa shop, right? But I think they got their orders mixed up, so they accidentally sent me a second box set.
Amazing.
I got a double order.
You got a double order. That's perfect. 2 for 1.
Dom, do you want the second box set?
I'll take it. I'll never watch it, but I'll take it. I'll never watch it without you. Let's say that.
Okay, well, there you go. So my goal is not the summer 24, but probably by the summer 25, I am going to make a trip to the Rocky Steps and Philly and stuff. So my intention is to meet people such as yourself, Doug from Rocky Minute. So if I meet you at that time, I'll personally hand you over.
I'm excited.
Okay, because I don't think you're very far from Philly, are you?
No, I'm like an hour and 20.
Perfect. Well, that's nothing.
Yeah.
People drive that long for work every day.
Exactly. Yeah, I do that too.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, today, folks, we're doing some more Frank Stallone coverage, as we said we do on this journey. That if Frank provides us content, essentially, we will do more Frank. And since our last episode, we had, of course, Frank's son Robert on the show, and the reviews came in on our YouTube, on our Facebook. Dom, the reviews were very positive. They all felt and thought that Robert was a class act, stand-up individual. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he was an awesome guy. I really enjoy doing the podcast with him. He's always welcome back here on whatever this podcast is.
He wants to come back. Maybe we'll get him on an episode of the Rambo version of it, along with the Frank coverage. Now, as we all know, doing that episode was somewhat, I would say, controversial. We knew it might. Okay, well, put it this way: if Frank had got wind of it, he might not be crazy about it.
It might ruffle some wigs, if you'll say.
Somebody might literally flip their wig, as they might say. As the saying goes. We're not saying anything in particular. We're just saying that is the saying the one could have. Dom's had his wig flipped so many times.
That's why I don't even wear it anymore. That's it.
Now, Robert reached out to me we talked via Instagram. Unlike Frank, I haven't blocked Robert on Instagram. So Robert reached out to me on Instagram, and this is the message that I received from him yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Frank saw our episode, and boy, is he pissed.
Is this a shocker?
Well, okay, we're to talk. I'm going to be frank about this. So I then called Robert. I said, hey, can you talk on the phone? So I didn't, of course, record the conversation. We talked on the phone. And I don't know how much I can share regarding how Robert got this information, because it wasn't Frank who talked to Robert. You would think, so I'll speak for myself. So this will get me out of trouble in the sense of, if it was me, and I am a father, Frank, I'm also a father. And if one of my kids did something that upset me, I would have not only the balls to talk to my own child, but I would be like, hey, son, I'm not really cool about what you did. Now, let's talk it out. Let's hash it out. Okay, so we'll get into more of that. But this is just me speaking as a father. And I think Frank, if he watches this episode, he can say, hey, I'm a father too. So we can talk father to father, man to man about how we might talk to our sons or children when they've upset us. So even if what Robert said upset Frank, my recommendation would be talk it out. Maybe your son's hurting. Maybe Robert's hurting. Maybe he's looking for some healing. And sometimes when we heal, we have to say, hey, this is what I've been through. This is the garbage that's been dealt to me. Okay.
So you wouldn't block him.
Well, you have to start by unblocking him first. Yeah. So I asked Robert, like, how did you know? So basically what happened is, of course, there's people. I'm not stupid. I'm surprised maybe it took this long. Maybe it was because Robert was on the show. But of course, some of Frank's friends went, Frank, you got to watch this episode of these numbnuts who talk about you with your son. Blah, blah, blah. So, of course, Frank watches it and he's upset. I wonder if Frank was upset about our comments regarding Mike Torchia. And his,
I just don't want to open my door one day and see Mike Torchia outside my apartment.
I think he's probably 5'3". But anyways, the point is, I think Frank then talked, and I don't have any names, so all the guilty / innocent parties will be protected, other than, of course, Rob. It's already too late for him. So somebody who's friends with Frank was on the phone with Frank for like an hour, apparently, but he's also friends with Rob. So he called Rob to say, hey, I was on the phone with your dad. He got wind of the episode. He's seen it. He ain't happy about it. The things that Frank said were, according to Rob, from his other friends. We're playing a lot of telephone tag here, so obviously we weren't a part of the conversation, and it was an hour long. But the cliff notes basically is that yes, we were having some fun taking the mick out of Frank and Mike, and in general, as we do on our show, it's all for humorous effect. So let me just say this: if Frank's listening, it's all for humorous effect. Like if we say you have a toupee and you don't, okay, we're wrong. It's just for humorous effect. Like it's all a joke, meaning we don't know. We're not saying you do. We're saying we think you do. You allegedly looks like you may have something growing off the top of your head that might not be natural. It's allegedly that's what it is. Now, if we're wrong, then we're wrong. That's fine. The same way Trump, remember when he went on Jimmy Fallon?
Right. Yeah.
And Fallon pulled on his hair.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, listen. As I always say, as a bald man, I'm curious. I'm curious about these things.
And of course, Trump even had fun with it, right? Like that's the whole point. He has fun. You lean into it. We've said this before. You got to lean into it. Trump has been, and that's Frank's man is Trump. So I would recommend Frank take advice from the guy that you support, Donald Trump, and Donald Trump leans into it. He loves it when people hurl stuff at him because he fires back and he leans into it and he has fun with it. Okay. So he wasn't happy, I guess, some of the comments that we made regarding what are the jokes we made. But more specifically, I think he was angry at Rob because he felt Rob may have revealed things that were private. I think essentially what it is. Fair enough. That's safe. Fair enough. But that's Rob's choice. He's in an interview situation and he's allowed to share whatever he wants regarding what he feels are his experiences and how he has his journey, and talking to Robert and getting a sense of him as a person in a short amount of time. But I've talked to many people in my life, Dom. I sensed right away this is an individual who I think he was a straight shooter. I think he was honest about his journey.
Yeah, I agree.
Now Frank may argue his journey, saying that's not what I meant or that's not what happened on my end. ... That's fine, but his son feels like, hey, this is still what I went through. This is my side of the coin. We only have Robert's side of the coin. Okay. So anyway, so Frank's, I guess, upset with Rob. I guess he's blocked again, isn't talking to Rob. Rob might be going to an event that Frank's at, I think, in the near future. So hopefully everything goes well. And we also stated during that interview and during this right now, we want peace. We want Frank and Rob to get along and be happy and have fun with each other. And Rob actually wants that too. It's funny. Rob, to his credit, loves what we do. He thinks he has fun with what we're doing, but he actually wants to have a good relationship with his dad too. If his dad would allow that to happen, where if my sons made fun of me, I think it'd be great. I think I would have fun with it. Like I can only imagine what they would do, and that'd be okay.
Right.
They're not saying things like my dad's a pedophile or he's an arsonist or he's a murderer. They're just saying, my dad wears the same hoodie every week, or he gels his hair. Well, these are all things that I do, and you can make fun of those things. You're allowed to make fun of those. Okay. So that's basically it. Like, we haven't received any kind of like cease and desist from Frank. Well, here's the thing. I actually had somebody reach out to me, Dom, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, and I have a bit of an answer to this. Someone was like, is there going to be any litigation? And I'm like, I don't know how that's possible. What are your thoughts on
that? He's a public figure, Frank Stallone. He's been a public figure for the last 30, 40, whatever the hell
50
years.
50 years.
50 years. So he's fair game as far as we're concerned.
Well, and I don't understand how that works. The little research I did, the biggest thing is, yes, there have been celebrities who have, quote unquote, have sued either podcasts or people, but usually, again, it's from malicious intent to cause damage, to basically wreck. Essentially, it's all about money. Right. So if I were to say, let's say I used you, let's say I did this to you, slandered you, I'd say I called your or I did a podcast where I said, oh, Dom is an arsonist or he's a thief. He steals from companies that he works for. Right. Your company hears this and says, well, we can't have him here because these are the things we're hearing online or whatever. So we have to fire Dom. Dom would then be like, where are you getting this information? And they're like, well, we heard it on a podcast. And Dom's like, well, this is libel. This is slander and it's not true. And it was designed to get me fired.
Right.
With Frank, I don't think we've ever said, in fact, we've said the opposite. We want him to have a full, successful, wonderful career. The longer he goes, like, we want him to have music, concerts, movies, products. We bought his meat sticks. We want it all, right? But like you said, yes, he's a public figure. I mean, Saturday Night Live and Mad TV and Living Color, wouldn't they all be sued out the yin yang for the jokes they've made about? Yeah. Okay. And I did do a quick little research here. So this is what the interwebs told me from 8 different sources. Making fun of a celebrity is not necessarily considered libel. Libel involves the publication of false statements that are presented as facts and cause harm to someone's reputation. Mm-hmm. So Frank would have to prove that our statements have somehow directly affected and harmed his own reputation.
For the better, we've sold more whiskey, Frank.
I think we have advertised and talked about Frank in a more positive life than the average citizen does online. It goes on to say the key elements that need to be proven for a statement to be considered libelous include that the statement was false. It was presented as a fact, not as an opinion, and it was published to a third party and caused harm to the person's reputation. Again, you have to prove your reputation was harmed. One, nobody listens to our show other than Frank, right, and a couple of his friends. It goes on to say, when it comes to making fun of someone, including celebrities, the context and content of the statements are crucial. If the statements made are purely opinion-based, satirical, or are clearly not meant to be taken as factual assertions, they are generally not considered libelous. For example, satirical remarks, jokes, or exaggerated comments made for humorous purposes that a reasonable person would not take as a factual statements are typically protected under, like you said, Dom, under the First Amendment as free speech.
Right.
However, if the mockery includes the assertion of facts that could harm the celebrity's reputation and are presented as true, then it could potentially be considered liable. For instance, falsely stating that a celebrity has committed a crime or has a certain disease could be liable if these statements are presented as facts and cause, again, reputational damage. And then additionally, public figures like celebrities have a higher threshold to meet when proving libel. They must demonstrate that the false statement was made with, quote, actual malice, meaning that the speaker knew it was false and or showed reckless disregard for the truth. So in summary, simply making fun of a celebrity is not liable unless the humor involves false statements of fact that are harmful to the celebrity's reputation and are made with actual malice. Well, you and I actually have zero malice towards Frank Stallone. Right. He provides this content publicly on his Instagram that he allows the public to comment on. We just choose to do it verbally via our YouTube and our podcast, Vice leaving comments on his Instagram. So, and he just doesn't have the ability to block our vocal comments, even though on his Instagram, if anyone disagrees with Frank or if he doesn't like it, he has that right. He'll take those comments off. Okay.
Mhm.
I just present all that because I understand. There's a part of me who's like, yeah, could he? He's very sensitive. Apparently, he might get his, underwear in a knot, and he wants to get mad at us. And it's like, but it's like you can't shut down people for even criticize. You're allowed to be criticized.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Yelp reviews do. They publicly
Of course.
shame restaurants and businesses. Like, this place is screwy, it's stupid. Don't go there. See, isn't that the same thing? So why aren't people being sued because they say the food sucked?
Right.
That a human made, and they're not, so celebrities. That's why they have even a larger, because it's like, hey, I think your movie sucks.
Right. And you're constantly in that spotlight. Well, not Frank, but you're constantly in that spotlight.
Yeah, whoever that is, whether it's like Sly, like I've talked crap about Sly where applicable, meaning when his show isn't good or movies aren't good or whatever it is. Like, so Frank, if we don't enjoy your music, we're allowed to talk about it. If we think your clothes are funny, we're allowed to talk about it. If we think your hairstyle might not be real, we're allowed to speculate.
We're allowed to speculate on that. Definitely.
Speculate. So yeah. So anyways, I say all that as a way just to kind of say, I think we're okay. What do you think, Dom? Do you think
I think we're good? Okay. I think we're good.
Because if I'm going down, you're going down with me.
To quote Rocky V, sue me for what?
I thought the exact same thing. Sue me for what? That's the other thing. You have to sue for damages, right? So the damages would be, again, I lost this film role because the director saw our podcast. It doesn't want somebody with maybe fake hair.
The director knows that my hairline doesn't grow out of my eyebrows.
The director only wants to hire people that have hairlines that recede, that don't proceed as time goes on. Okay. I know this was boring. People are like, oh my gosh, guys, that's boring. I know. So let's get to the good stuff. Frank, we hope you're watching. We hope to have you on the show one day. And we also really hope you make amends with your son, Robert, because we think he's a great guy. We're still trying to figure you out, but we think Rob's a good guy. We got one down.
We know for a fact Rob's a good guy.
We're still working out where we stand with you, Frank. We'd love to have you on the show so you can show us one way or the other. So here we go. What I love about this Instagram video here is you have direction from Alex, the director. Did you catch that when you saw this video?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So it's kind of hard to hear, but right at the beginning, I just have to go back just 2 seconds. So right at the beginning, you have Alex telling Frank, go, Frank. Like,
go, Frank, go.
Your Alex is amazing.
Go, Frank.
So he says, go. And then nothing happens. Go, Frank.
Why couldn't they just edit that out? You could do it right on your phone.
You can edit on your phone, but you know what the classic move is behind the camera is just a signal.
Right.
Just point.
Do the Wayne's World. 3, 2,
1. Perfect. Wayne's World. That's right. But you got Alex the trainer, Alex the director. Go, Frank. How do you do that?
Come on, Frank. I'm filming. Go.
All right. Let's hear what Frank has to say on this beautiful day.
It's a sunny day in California. I'm home for a few days. I'm in and out all the time. But it's always good to get the workout in. You know what? Flannel shirts are the best to work out in.
See, I sometimes...
No, they're not.
Is this a direct response to us criticizing him wearing flannel for working out?
Let me tell you something. I am not a bodybuilder. I've had my times in my life when I was going to the gym a lot, and I've never been in the gym in like a sleeveless or a tank top or a t-shirt and said, you know what would be better than this? A flannel shirt. It's never.
It's a nice looking flannel shirt. Like, I wish I had that flannel shirt. I think it looks good on him. I wish I had one of those, but I disagree with you, Frank, that flannel shirts are good to work out in. But we criticized the flannel shirt in our last episode. I wonder if this is a response to that sometimes.
Trying to prove us right.
I don't know. Or prove us wrong, yeah. But he's going to tell you why it's good to wear a flannel shirt. Unless
You're a show-off and exhibitionist and you want people to see your lats and your stuff like that.
I think you know what he's saying here, Dom. He's specifically speaking to the woman, right?
Right. The fat back.
Well, I think he's telling women to wear burqas to the gym because
next time I go to the gym, I'm going to wear a pea coat.
It's just comfortable to not wear heavy clothing while you're working out.
Right.
Because Frank, unlike you, people who go to the gym do more than 5 reps and they actually sweat and they don't want to wear a parka to the gym. Okay?
Especially like less friction, especially a flannel shirt gets itchy. You know, those things get itchy. Could you imagine sweating in that?
I can't. Either he's trolling us or I don't know, man. Like, come on. Do you really believe people are going to take this advice? You know what? I'm gonna wear a flannel shirt at the gym next.
He's gonna start a new trend. You know what it is, Frank? It comes back to he's got to be right. He's gonna die on this hill. Somebody else probably commented on the flannel shirt, including us, and he's like,
maybe,
no.
Yeah, you're right. He does read the comments on Instagram, so that's true. So it might not be our videos, but though he has seen. We do know he's seen the one. So
we definitely know he's seen the one. We can confirm that.
You can save that for another time, but it's always good to get a good workout in. Remember, we did legs today. I'm working on my quad.
Why do I have to remember that they did legs today? Why do I have to put that to my memory? Can I forget, like, literally now? Can I forget that you had legs?
Remember Frank's legs? Remember them? Flexing.
But he does want to comment on the clothing because he said right after, let's a discussion for another day. He seems to be really miffed about what people wear at the gym. I thought he would like the girls what they wear, but maybe not. Maybe too much fat back, or maybe
definitely too much fat back. You don't want the fat back hitting everything, bouncing the flab.
Quads, that's a very stubborn muscle for me. So that means you got to up the weight.
Somebody's mowing the lawn right on top of him, I guess.
Hey, Frank, let's go over here. What the gardeners are working over here, Frank.
Hey, chopping the bushes. Let's go over here. Come on, it's a good spot.
Lock it all the way out, then it's too heavy. But if it's heavy and you can lock it and flex your quads, that's good. And remember, girls, the glutes, largest muscle in the body, the most ignored muscle in the body.
Remember, girls, listen to a guy who knows nothing about a girl's anatomy.
Why is he talking to the girls about their butt muscles, man? Like, come on, man. That's what's weird about that. You're 73. You're almost like, don't talk to girls about their butts, man.
Yeah. But obviously, like, girls working out and losing weight, it's different from guys. So, like, if you want to give guy opinions, if you want to give your own personal experience as a man, now you're talking about what a girl's got to do.
Yeah, I would stay clear of that if I were you. But you know what? I haven't been doing this for 50 years, so yeah, fair enough.
So work the glutes, work the quads, have a blessed day. A lot of great feedback from a week ago when I talked about the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight.
Okay, now this is key. Now, I actually had about a 30, 35-minute video of all, these are just his Instagram videos. That's how much Instagram video he had since our last.
Yeah, he's had a lot.
But did you know what half of them were? And there's a reason why.
I did see a couple of Tyson talk. I did see a couple of those. Okay.
Now you tracking what's going on here? You're probably not. There's a reason he has gone full on boxing. He's got a new segment, and he mentions it later in one of these videos, but he's got a new segment that he's pigeonholed himself in because one of his videos, and only one of his videos, went viral on his YouTube Stallone Zone or Frank Stallone Zone page.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'd like to acknowledge the nipples here. Very Mike Torsia of him. Taking a cue from Mike. You get my Frank, you gotta make your nipples pop out a little bit more.
Holy crap. I gotta wonder what he thought of. There's a small part of me when we tore Mike a little bit up that Frank probably enjoyed it. There's probably a part of him that loved that we were talking crap about Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think he got defensive for his buddy Mike, or did he go like?
Yeah, he probably was glad it wasn't like whenever we were digging into Mike, we weren't digging into him, so he probably got excited by that.
Anyway, so here is his YouTube page, Frank Stallone. So I'll share that with you right now. So he's changed the name of his page, Dom.
Oh,
you see it?
The eyes. I like the eye shot.
What do you see there? What's the name of the page now?
The Frank Effect by Frank Stallone.
What does that mean?
I'm very curious to what that actually means.
So there's something key here. So, me, I'm following Frank's career. We're invested in his career. Like, we're probably the two most invested people on the planet in his career. So if you go to his videos and you go to his most popular, right here, Dom, look at this one. 88,000 views.
Oh, wow.
So remember he did this on Instagram. He repurposed it to
Yes.
YouTube. But for whatever reason, now it's all about algorithms, right? Titles. Now, Frank, I love you, buddy, but you're probably not Frank, you're probably not smart enough to be, how to tap in to algorithms. It can happen by accident, right? So he titled it Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul will be a early knockout. And I should say an early knockout, but that's okay. Will be a early knockout. Almost 600 comments on here, 88,000 views. So he ran with it. So what he did was he changed his YouTube page from the Frank Stallone Zone, which was only there for a short time. He's now renamed it, since this quote unquote viral video, to the Frank Effect by Frank Stallone.
I see.
Okay. And then he's tried to capitalize on further views with that, and it hasn't quite panned out. He did another one a week later called Frankster. He called himself Frankster, talking about Tyson versus Paul fight. Again, didn't work. 1.6 thousand views. And then he tried it again. Fury versus Usyk and Tyson versus Paul. My updated predictions, 300 views. So
declining numbers. It's like a box office sequel thing.
And I'm not trying to be, look, this is just how it works, Frank, and anyone else who's in the YouTube business. So yeah, something went viral. So a great opportunity for people to say, hey, what do you have to offer? Right? What is it you can bring to me? And 88,000 people didn't come back later.
Right.
And he still remains at 500 subscribers or 550. So nobody subscribed from that video.
How were those comments? Was it a positive reaction? Was people agreeing with him?
Most people just adding their 2 bits in regarding Jake. Someone says here, "You are right, Frank." That was from Trainer Alex. So
Frank, I commented on the video, Frank. I wrote, "You are right."
Somebody commented on Alex's comment. Wrong. I love it. Oh, somebody said here, spot on analysis. I totally agree with you. I'm trying to think of the people who actually respond. I agree with you, Frank. You know whose analysis is correct about this match? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. So there are people. You the man, Frank. So true, Frank. So this is funny. Well said, Sly.
How many people? That's a good point, though. How many people? Because not everybody's a genius. Let's face it. How many people assume that was Sylvester Stallone?
I wonder. Either that was a troll comment or they're idiots. Either way.
There's a lot of idiots in the world, though.
There is, man. Like, as you know, I do a stupid podcast with the Rocky and Rambo podcast, as you're part of it. I do one for the Rocky one as well. And I have a Facebook page. And I get messages via the Facebook Messenger of the page messenger where people will think I'm Sly. They'll I'm not even joking, man. They'll call Sylvester Stallone. I write back, thanks for being a fan. You're the best. Now kill yourself. No, I'm just joking.
Poison and kill your family.
Yeah. Go kill your family. No. See, that's called humor. See how that works? It's not libel. That's humor. We're joking.
It's a joke.
No, we're joking. Okay, here we go. Back to the video. Okay, so I say all this, Tom, because now his Instagram is full of boxing commentary, tips. So he's run with this algorithm that's right. Okay. So that's why he's changed directory. We don't hear much about shooting. We don't hear much about the workouts even anymore. Mm-hmm. He's really tapping into his new algorithm of boxing and the big fights that are coming up right now. And that's fine. He loves boxing. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Maybe he should speak to it because he actually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, which Frank is very knowledgeable about boxing history. We got to give him that.
No, of course. We always give credit where credit's due. Like,
I gotta give him that.
No, he's not a moron about boxing. But here's the idea, though, it's bad for our show because all of his boxing videos, because they're legit and there's nothing really to comment, I had to delete them all. They weren't funny. It's like, oh, yeah, he's talking about boxing. Here he goes again. Anyway, right. But there are some little nuggets here that I kept. So just keep that in mind that every boxing video I show you, there's a reason why I've kept it, okay, regarding something he said during that big diatribe during that video. So here we go back to the video with the nips.
Again, let me reiterate. It's either a sanctioned fight.
Cannot make it up, though. It's a helicopter landing right on top of him.
It's a search and rescue plane flying over his head. Wait, I think we see the lost puppy. Oh wait, no, it's just something on Frank's head. Never mind.
Or it's not a sanctioned fight. If you're wearing 16-ounce gloves and they're 2-minute rounds, that's not a fight. Or if you're wearing headgear, it's not a fight. It's a sparring session.
So he's just going on to say here that what Paul and Tyson are doing is not really a fight. It's a sparring session. It's an exhibition. It's all these other things. Like at the end of the day, I don't care what you're wearing or what I would be wearing in the ring with either one of those guys. They'd knock my block off.
Right.
You know, like there's still something to be said there. Don, would you step in the ring with either of those guys with whatever equipment they're wearing?
I definitely wouldn't know, especially Mike Tyson.
Well, both of them probably pack a punch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's what I mean. So I'm not a fighter. So I know what Frank's saying. He's saying, but at the end of the day, there's still two men who are going to throw punches at each other, and most men who are smart wouldn't want to be in the ring with these guys with even head protection on. You're going to feel your neck rattle.
Joke. If it's a sanctioned fight, 10-ounce gloves and all the things that go with no headgear, 3-minute rounds, whole different story. Jake Paul is basically a rank amateur. He fought one fighter, Tommy Fury, and he got.
Frank Stallone is also a ranked amateur. He fought one guy, Geraldo.
But he did beat Geraldo. He did beat him.
He did beat Geraldo. Yeah,
So
we gotta watch that. Have you seen the fight? Have you seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't sat there and watched the whole thing. I think I skipped around on YouTube.
Put it this way: if Howard Stern is commenting on the fight, Frank, you're not really one to talk about what's a joke and what's not a joke here. Come on, like this is embarrassing. That was man. One day we got to review that.
We should
beat by a guy that's an in and out boxer, not a great boxer. Here's the deal: he's an amateur, so here's an amateur. Come in with the right hand, and they go.
So Frank is now showing us how amateurs fight. Apparently, that's how. If you're an amateur, Tom, that's how they fight. Apparently, the way he swung there, like
he did like a hammer.
I didn't realize that amateurs had a fighting style that they were beholden to. Like this is how amateurs fight.
You're vulnerable to get knocked out. See, Mike's here. Watch my feet. See.
Now, you mentioned before the length of Frank's nails. The only thing I can think of is it for guitar picking? Is he a pick-free guitarist?
I've never seen any guitar. I mean, there probably is some, but I've never seen guitarists with fingernails like that. I think it would be harder.
If I could offer some hygienic advice, because this is really, I'm a short nail guy. When I see men with long nails, I'm sorry. There's a part of me that goes, it's kind of gross. I don't like seeing it. I don't want to see any white. Keep it down to the nubs.
Yeah, it's weird.
But they're you can see them here in this video where I pause it. You can see the talons come up there, can't you?
Yeah, you see them in a lot of the videos. You see them. They've become more prominent.
His left hand seems like they're shorter. That's what I'm wondering. It seems like his right hand might be longer because of maybe guitar picking, maybe? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I think that would hurt.
And when this kid gets hit with those shots, if they're using 10-ounce gloves, I guarantee you, it's lights out.
He's breathing a little hard there at the end.
Yeah, he's breathing very heavy. He's gonna pass out in the parking lot.
Don't get pneumonia again, Frank. We need you healthy. Do not go back to the Mayo Clinic. We need you here. Why isn't Frank training these guys? I mean, that's the key. He's advertising. He's literally giving them free advice. I don't think this is fair. I think this is unfair advantage. Whoever watches this watches.
Hopefully, this doesn't get into Tyson's hands or Logan Paul or whatever his name's. Jake Paul.
Yeah, if Tyson gets a hold of this footage and uses this footage, Paul's out, man. He's out in 2 days, 2 seconds. This is lethal information here.
God bless. At the range.
Okay, now we have Frank he's at the range. He's wearing a yellow cap, Pacific Sporting Arms. Mm-hmm. He's got a amateur trap shooting association life member. Mm. He's got an Italian Beretta signal on. Like he looks like a race car. So here we go. I'm just trying to get our audio listeners a visual of what Frank looks like here.
Today it's very overcast. I shot terribly. Sometimes it's harder to shoot by yourself because you're shooting too fast.
Somebody just killed themselves because they heard him doing another video.
Hey, is that Frank doing another video? Yeah, okay, I'm done. I can't anymore. Okay, again, that's a joke. Nobody killed themselves, Don. We have to make that clear.
Yes, if you need help, seek help. There's numbers you could call. Just don't watch Frank Stallone videos because he's gonna push you over the edge.
Is this what we have to do now? We have to like say that everything we've done is a joke, not to be taken seriously. It's not malicious. Oh boy.
It's better to shoot with 3 people at minimum, 5 perfect, because then you get a rest in between. But a lot of times when you're shooting by yourself, what happens is you tend to shoot too fast and you get more arm weary.
He's giving himself an excuse right now. He's talking to himself, essentially, giving himself an excuse why he shot bad today.
Yeah, so he's saying he shot by himself because he doesn't have any friends.
You got me thinking though. You said he looks like a NASCAR driver, car. He probably has the meat thing from Rocky 1 on the back of his shirt too. The what is it? The advertisement.
Yeah, Shamrock Meats. Yeah. Shamrock Meats. He keeps the jacket shrewd. But yeah, so Frank's just basically saying, I have no friends who go shooting with me, so I have to shoot by myself. Everyone else is shooting in groups about me. Can you imagine if Frank at the range, he's just by himself, one shot after another, boom, 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 boom. And he's looking around and he sees all the other team relays going on without him. It's like, I wish I could be a part of that group.
I telling them, I'd get a better rest if I'd cut in with you guys.
Yeah, can I get some rest, please? Can I join you guys? No, we're full. It's like the Forrest Gump on the shooting range. Team's full.
Seat's taken.
But anyway, this is Uncle Frank signing off. Remember, check out Uncle Frank's Bourbon.
Okay.
Take care. Bye.
So speaking of Uncle Frank's Bourbon, I still haven't received my shipment. It hasn't been shipped.
And you ordered it a while ago.
And I reached out to them on their chat on their website. And as of yesterday, I sent them an email 24 hours ago of this recording asking and sent them a picture of my order, like of my screenshot of my order number and everything, saying, I'm just curious when I can expect this to be shipped. No response. I am literally being ghosted.
That's crazy because you were like one of the first.
January 2024.
I ordered it. It had to be a couple weeks after you. I mean, I know you're in Canada and, this thing's American, but...
But they don't offer shipping. They offered shipping worldwide when I went there. It was worldwide.
Right. No, you should have got it first, especially as somebody who ordered it first, pre-ordered it.
And I sent them an email. This is getting a little. I think after this recording, I'm actually going to reach out to Uncle Frank's Bourbon, like the Instagram account, and say, "Hey, I don't want to be a bother, but I sent you an email. I've sent a chat. I'm just curious what's going on here. Mm-hmm. Either refund my card." But they've taken my money, Dom. Like at the end of the day,
that's what's annoying. Yeah, I don't like when that happens. When
my money has
to take your money.
Yeah, my money's gone. I have the receipt to prove it on my Visa card and the company that took it, and I have not even received any kind of response. Like they don't have one person checking emails, just one person.
Right. Even if it's Frank or Alex.
Well, no. Frank didn't even know what the bourbon was till he got there at the shop on opening day. Okay, so let's see what he has. So right now he's wearing a boxing toque or a snow cap and a knit zinger.
I thought it said Nutzinger for a second.
Oh, maybe is it Nutzinger? Nutzinger? Yeah,
I don't even know.
I don't know what that is.
More proper gym wardrobe.
Yeah, this is a better shirt. Yeah, just wearing a
flannel shirt.
Yeah, but I don't think he went to the gym here. But let's see what he says.
Mike Tyson, the real Tyson, and Jake Paul. Again, Jake is an amateur. He's going to be more excited. This is a big event. They're going to throw right hands. And anyone knows anything about boxing, the best thing to counter a right hand when you're extended is that left hook to the body, left hook to the chin.
So what I love here is he just assumes that Paul doesn't know this.
Yeah.
Like he just thinks Paul's going to come in and just punch willy-nilly without any idea of how to defend or keep himself not from being open to Mike's counterattacks. It's such an odd. He keeps saying he's an amateur. Okay, but you're acting like he doesn't have his own personal trainers who are boxing.
Right. He's also assuming like Paul's going to do exactly what he's saying. Like, he's going to come in, and then he's going to get this. Like,
what's that right hand stuff? He always keeps. He's really obsessed with the amateur right hand situation.
Mike pivots. Bang, right hand uppercut. He's got a great right hand uppercut. All you have to do is watch the Marvis Frazier fight, I thought he almost ripped his head off. Mike gets down low, comes up, boom, with that right hand uppercut. He's got big legs, big butt. He's built low to the ground.
He's got a big ass. He's working on his glutes. See, ladies, you gotta work on the glutes. Huge ass.
Can you give me that Al Pacino, the ass, Al Pacino?
She got a great big ass. You know what the best part of that side note? Did you know that was like that wasn't even scripted? And if you look at the look on Hank Azaria's face when he does that, it's like fear because Al Pacino did that just off the cuff. That makes it even better.
He is insane. I love Al Pacino went from the Godfather acting to that. Oh my gosh, he's like 83 now, eh?
I know, and he's
It's
got.
sad. It's sad.
Right?
It's sad to see these.
I
guys
know,
older.
man. I know. I don't want to see Pacino or any of them go. Stallone, either Stallone,
De Niro, like all these
Yeah.
guys. They're great actors. It sucks because they really are the last of their kind, kind of thing.
They are.
All we have left now is like the Brad Pitts and DiCaprio's, but they're not getting any younger.
No, I know they're getting up there too.
Ugh. It's up to Timmy Oliphant now. What's his name? Timmy Chalamet. What's his name?
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Shabalaba Ding Dong. He's pretty good. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
Is he going to sue us now for saying his name wrong?
Definitely. Cease and desist from him and Frank.
Boy.
And so Jake Paul has to wonder if he hits Mike, his best shot, and Mike just goes like that. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. This is the first, I think, of 3 accents we get in this video stream.
Ooh.
Not this one, but we get the Mike Tyson accent there, so he's saying that's how Mike Tyson is going to shrug off that name. That's what he said.
He goes to work on him. Again, if it's 2-minute rounds, it's not really a fight. I mean, women fight 2-minute rounds.
This guy's always taking shots at women. Frank, we love your boxing expertise, but you are constantly, any chance you get, you are shitting on women.
I know. It's like, yeah, that lousy species called women, they don't fight like us men. Women of a certain age and group are not watching you, Frank, so you just don't have to talk to them. They're not watching. There's no 35-year-old woman watching this video.
Who hurt you, Frank? Who was it?
Not take anything away from them, but that's what they do.
He digs himself deeper into the hole, like the more he says.
I think because he kind of realizes I shouldn't have brought up the woman thing, and I don't edit my video, so now I've got to kind of backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, you think Alex is giving him signals? No, Frank, don't talk about women. Cut it.
There's no way he's going to let this guy humiliate him in front of the world. I don't care if it's a sanctioned fight. If Mike can get the knockout, he'll get the knockout, and that's why they call him Iron Mike. Have a good day.
Okay, so I kind of hope Tyson loses just to prove Frank wrong. That's all I got to say about that.
I want to see the videos after the fight.
So here's Frank expounding more on boxing, but I just love the setup here. This is his love den. Have you seen the love den that he's in?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Laying across.
Hello, folks. Uncle Frank is now home from the gym, and I take my nap in La Casa Stallone.
La Casa Stallone?
La Casa Stallone.
He's got leopard print cushions, and you can see those bed poles in the mirror. He's got the lovemaking mirror behind him. You know that mirror where you can look at yourself while while the woman's on top of you or you're on top of her.
This video feels like he almost, in the very beginning, it feels like you're watching like a Batman villain make a request, like one of those, like in the Dark Knight when the Joker's like, I'm going to kill 3 people. Or whatever. I feel like I'm watching one of those.
So that's why I wanted to show this video. It's just I can see Frank having matching underwear.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Definitely wearing leopard underwear.
La Casa Leone. I've been
See the House of the Lion, I guess. Is that the idea? Yeah.
Is Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Okay, that's rare. A natural puncher. He can.
That was the best edit.
Yeah, I just cut out this edit, so they changed the view. Look at this. Look at those poles going right up to the ceiling. Like, there's something creepy about this room. It's such a terrible decor, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Very like 1980s.
One shot. Okay, I don't know if Devin can. Devin seems to be punching better. He looked really good in the Prograis fight. Let's see what happens. Let's see where their heads are at.
This is him here wearing more swag from another boxing company, talks about the swag.
Work today because it's a little cold out, but we wish you all the best. Have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe. Don't be nobody's fool.
So that you, that's why I showed that part there. He's about to get run over in the parking lot. Okay.
Hi, folks. I'm watching the fights tonight. DAZN must have the worst boxing analysts and the worst judges in the history of the game.
So here we go. Now keep this in mind. This is where I find this a little bit hypocritical. A little bit hypocritical, Frank. He's allowed to criticize people. We can't. See what I'm saying?
His opinion's right.
Yeah. Now, the video that I started but didn't finish, he basically called out for the refs of a certain company to be fired, to be investigated and fired. He actually said those words. Think about that, for example.
Slander.
That is absolute slander. You're actually calling for the termination of someone's livelihood on your camera. And he has a much bigger reach than we have on our show.
Right.
But he's actually literally, and he's not fooling around. That wasn't hyperbole on his part. He's actually saying these people need to be investigated and fired, and almost he wanted to hang them in the
I want them murdered in the streets.
Was that another Al Pacino one? Oh, no, that was Robert De Niro. I want his family dead. I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ashes. Okay, so let's listen to this.
Sean McComb won that fight from Barboza, going away. I had him winning 7 of the rounds. He was landing the shots. The only one seems to know what they're doing ringside is Sergio Mora, my man. But this is DAZN. These judges have to be investigated. This is such a crime. You know, these lopsided decisions.
He's literally saying it's a crime. Remember when I read that thing at the beginning where if you do slander and accuse them of a crime,
he's breaking every rule. He's breaking every rule. He's going to get sued, I think.
He calls out a specific ref in a later video. So he actually names a ref who needs to be like, I want him dead. I want his family dead.
Things like this. It's I don't know who's doing this stuff. DAZN puts on good fights. It's a good fight card. But the ringside and the analytics are terrible. CompuBox is ridiculous. Okay? So, I mean, I feel so bad for these fighters to get these lousy decisions like this. Well, let's see what happens with Haney and Ryan. Stay tuned. This ref.
Okay. He's like, hey, I got a quiet area to record, but I'll just do it with the TV full volume.
Blow out my eardrums.
And I love the lighting of this. He's in the dark, but he's got something to say. Check this out. He's got something to say about this fight.
Referee Harvey Dock is on the take.
Catch that. Let me go back. He literally accuses someone, Dom, of being on the take. You know what that means?
Bribed? Like,
yes. Like the mafia's bribing you. So again, this isn't joking or hype. He's actually literally throwing criminal.
If you are watching, rewind to all those things Ryan was reading before. Because
go back to the beginning. If this is libel, because somebody might be able to sue you for these kind of accusations. Check out this.
Stay tuned. This referee Harvey Dock is on the take. He's on the take. You see how long he gave Haney in between when he got clocked? That's what I'm talking about. And then you take a point, and he dropped him twice. So the referee's on the take. Harvey Dock should be thrown out of the business. This is disgusting.
Now, can you imagine if we did that? Frank Stallone is I don't know. He's a tax evader. He's
stealing from fundraisers.
He goes to fundraisers and steals for the money from the tip jar. And we were serious about it.
Essentially what he's doing.
Okay, I'll leave it up to lawyers to take care of this. I can't. So he goes into more talk regarding the boxing stuff. Now, actually, I was trying to place. I think there was something from this one.
Fight good fighters in their prime, not when they're out of their prime. So have a blessed day. I hope to talk to you soon. This is Frank's Corner, baby.
Okay, that's the part I wanted to play. So he did a whole 3-minute video about boxing, and he's done a bunch of. He's referring to these segments, Dom, as Frank's Corner. He's in your corner. This is Frank's boxing corner. Bless his sweetheart. He really thinks he's onto something here with these boxing commentators. Is anyone taking these in and thinking, man, you know what? I think I've got it now. I think I've figured it out. We got to get rid of that ref.
I want him dead. I want his family dead.
Now, this next video sequence is very confusing to me. Did you see it about the rhinoceros?
You know, I don't think I've seen this one.
Okay, maybe you can help me explain what's going on here.
At my friend Bischoff's taxidermy, this was a big bull elk, with kind of a world record. I think it's like 358 with Safari Club. Got that many years ago. And this.
So he pointed out a real dead animal trophy. So let me make that clear. This is important. He killed a beautiful animal, made into a trophy. There's a beautiful trophy in his trunk. Now, whether he did the killing or not, somebody did to mount the dead animal's trophy on your wall. Think about that. To me, is that kind of weird to you? I find that kind of weird.
Yeah, it's always weird to me.
So he talks about that. Now he's going to talk about this paper mache rhinoceros head he's carrying around in his truck. Check it out.
This is a fiberglass mold of a giant white rhino. I mean, he's huge. I bought that when I lived in Africa. Of course, I would never shoot a rhino or a lion or anything like that.
Look how he's quick to say, I would never kill a majestic creature like a lion or a rhino. But hey, if you're a deer with the $5 on your horns or whatever, you're dead. I want that deer's family dead.
Yeah. If you're a referee that is on the take, you're dead. I mean, he's going to hang that guy's head on his wall.
Oh, man.
But it's just so cool looking. I'm going to hang it up. So
see that guy, the guy filming? Yeah. He put himself on camera. The guy bugs me. I don't know who he is, but he kind of irritates me. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say that somebody irritates me?
Yeah.
So this guy pointed his name is I think he's part of the Bischoff Taxidermy Club, but he's in later videos here. And I think Frank actually goes to his house and hangs out at his house for a bit. Check it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the Frankster, Mr. Ecology.
So Frank said, this is Frankster, Mr. Ecology. Ecology is a branch of biology that focuses on the relationships among living organisms and their environment.
He's got dead animals.
He kills.
It's Mr. Death, if anything, Frank. I don't know.
He literally refers to himself as somebody who is Mr. I study things in their natural habitat just before I shoot them dead.
Yeah. Dead.
Now this next sequence, here's the guy here. Look, he had to put himself on camera, this guy, because I'm in a video with Frank Stallone. Mm-hmm. This next little part doesn't make sense to me, so I played it twice. Let's see. Apparently the rhinoceros fell out of the truck.
Baby.
The rhino fell out.
No way.
The rhino fell out.
Yeah, that's the guy holding the camera from the taxidermy. It wasn't Frank. So the rhino fell out, but Frank posted it on his Instagram.
God.
I think the nose broke off when it fell out of the truck.
Yeah, that thing that could have killed somebody, that thing. It's gigantic.
Now, I think this is the guy's daughter holding a chicken, and Frank's petting her hair, a la Bin Laden. Or Bin Laden, sorry.
Biden.
Biden loves to sniff kids' hair, right? Have you seen those videos? Right.
Yes, of course.
What is that about anyways? Have you?
I don't know. It's alarming.
This is your president, by the way. I don't know.
I take no blame for that.
But this is what happened to the rhino when it fell out of the truck. So I think that's what we're about to see here.
We're here with a chicken, a fiberglass rhino, and we are going to save the rhinos so no one can use the horn for aphrodisiac.
Now watch this. I paused it just in time. I'm going to go back just a few seconds. Don, remember we got the Mike Tyson?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me if you can identify the accent he's about to give you here. So he's saying, I have a rhinoceros nose, and we can't grind it up for aphrodisiacs.
Aphrodisiacs, yes.
What nationality used to do that back in the day? Or maybe still does? Well, he'll tell you.
He's gonna do it.
For aphrodisiac. Yeah. So you don't get none, okay?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Let me go back. Did you quite catch that? Did you catch that?
I got it. Yes, I got it.
I think what he said is so you don't get none. But I didn't quite catch the accent again. Let me just see if that was Italian or.
Last rhino, and we are going to save the rhinos so no one can use the horn for aphrodisiac. So you don't get none, okay?
Oh.
He even did the Jerry Lewis teeth look there.
Yeah. He's what's his name? Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That's right, Mickey Rooney. That's right, the Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's or whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Maybe that'll be
heart.
a new character. Yeah, he'll come out with the teeth and everything.
You can't cancel Frank though, man. You can't do it.
You cannot stop Frank Stallone.
The Franks, or you cannot cancel him. Well, we're gonna stop there. There was more adventures he had with the chickens and parrots eating hair out. He had parrots eating out of his hair.
Yeah, his nest, that bird nest. They probably thought it was a nest. That's what it was.
So I told you there's so many videos, but we have to. Oh, this one's kind of funny. We'll show this one. He has this old like military like eagle holding a flag in a picture frame, and he's having the lady at the frame store hold the frame up. So as he talks to us, the viewer, about the frame, the lady puts the frame down too early, and Frank gets mad at her, tells her to put it back up again.
I have had this embroidered flag for close to over 50 years. Hold it up, Lynn, so I can see it.
I love it. She's bringing it down too early. Hey, can you bring it back up, lady?
He's used to Alex being there. That's the problem.
That's true. Okay. Now, here we go. This is it, folks. This is the bread and butter of this episode. Frank got inducted into the California Music Hall of Fame. Okay. He was one of, I think, 5 or 6 other artists who got inducted alongside him at this big gala event. And we have a backstage or pre-show interview before he hits the stage to play his big song. What I love here, this is hilarious. So I actually looked at the other 5 or 6 interviews to see if it was an issue for all the interviews or just Frank's, and thank goodness it was just Frank's. So Frank's holding a microphone. It's like a little portable type microphone, and so is the interviewer. She's holding a microphone, but they're not hooked up.
Can't make this up though.
So I checked the other people getting interviewed. Their mics worked, but of course Frank's doesn't work. So I had to boost the volume because it's like and he can't quite make it out. Anyways, I just think it's fantastic. Okay. So anyways, the mics don't work, but it just looks comical if you're watching this version besides just the audio, because he's holding the mic. There's no sound going to the microphone. He could just be holding an ice cream cone.
They knew better than to plug in the mic for Frank. They were like, keep it unplugged.
Post-production, I amped up the volume so we could hear the conversation. So this lovely lady is interviewing Frank before the great ceremony, and she asked some great questions. And of course, Frank gives some great answers. So here we go. They're at the interview, and see that little mic, like a little microphone thing that he's holding. It looks like a makeup dabbing brush. You put a make blush on for, and she's wearing hers on her lapel. But both of them, their mics aren't on. They didn't turn on the mics. Okay.
Here with Frank Stallone. Everybody knows who Frank Stallone is.
Nope.
That's not
true. My wife didn't know who he was until the Family Stallone show. She didn't know what he looked like. She had no idea.
My wife still doesn't know who he is.
She asked some very pointed questions, and I love the deflection Frank gives. So good for her for asking some very direct questions.
But you are an inductee into the California Music Hall of Fame this year.
Yes.
How amazing of an honor is that?
How amazing of an honor is that? Wow.
Are they in the bathroom? Where are they recording? Let's just say it's not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No. You got some old lady in a mask. I think she's dying of COVID in the background.
I didn't see that lady. I didn't even see that lady. That might be a ghost.
It might be a ghost. How amazing is it for you to be here? That's not a very good question to ask. It should just be, how does it feel to be inducted into them? How do you feel about being here? But she leads the witness, sir. Your Honor, leading the witness.
Leading Frankster.
Well, it's a big honor. I mean, I've been a professional musician.
Now, I love how Frank looks at the old lady.
This setting in this video says everything you need to know about the California Music Hall of Fame, whatever it is.
It is embarrassing. Let's just go back. So you have the dying lady in the background. Frank turns to look over because I think she makes a noise as she leaves to get away. And Frank's like, "Who the hell are you?" He kind of because he always has to know who's around him when he's talking. Have you noticed that?
He's afraid he's going to get assassinated. Honestly,
that's true.
Yeah, Music Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
How amazing of an honor is that?
Well, it's a big honor. I mean, I've been a professional musician since 1965. I started a year and a half after the Beatles came here. I've never.
He's got to put himself in the same sentence as the Beatles.
Absolutely, that's exactly what he's doing, Dom. He has to say, "I started when you remember when the Beatles were big? Well, yeah, well, I was not big during that time,
and I continue to be not big."
Like, what a weird thing to say. Hey, Dom, remember when we started our podcast when Joe Rogan had the biggest podcast in the world?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah,
year.
we had our podcast during the same time Joe Rogan had his podcast. You might remember that. You might remember those days. Yeah. That's exactly what he's doing. It's the same thing. Like, we're doing the same thing Joe Rogan's doing, but no one listens to our show. That's the difference.
Never stopped. And it's something, when you were a kid, playing guitar in front of the mirror, playing in bar bands and stuff. Something like this is like a very cool thing to happen. So I was very flattered to be asked to be here.
Recording? Who is recording?
I don't know, some drunk guy. He's like
the old lady's recording. I think that was just in the shot.
I wish people could just watch this on YouTube. This is the best part of our episode today. So yeah, he mentions that basically he's been playing his whole life in this. Now look where I am now. This is just amazing. I'm in the California Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the guy that's saying La Bamba and Leanne Rhymes. Yeah.
It's wonderful to have you here.
Yeah.
How important do you think that music in schools is now?
So she asked the question, how important is for music to be in schools now? And check out what he says. Schools, apparently, according to Frank, schools have nothing anymore. Check it out.
I think it's of the utmost importance. I mean, I think they've taken everything out of school, from phys ed to shop class to music and all.
Okay. Now, I understand there's some funding issues, but I don't think every school has nothing, Dom. Is that your experience?
Yeah. Phys ed is not going anywhere. I think.
No, isn't like football like the biggest thing in America? Yeah. High schools is football programs and basketball programs. That is physical education last time I checked. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The things that build the character of kids going out in the world. Right. And music, I mean, I hate to tell you I failed music, but
we've heard this before that he failed music. We're still waiting for the passing mark. We're still waiting. That should have been the first indication. I tried something out and I'm not good at it. Maybe I should stop.
I know, right? They were trying to help him.
Yeah.
I mean, bringing in Jimi Hendrix or your experience when they're listening to Bach didn't go over too big. But I mean, it was just something that was inbred in me to do since I was a little kid. So, but yeah, there's a.
He really equates time in a position as good at that position.
Right.
Like, I've been following boxing for 50 years, so I'm the greatest boxer. I've been doing music for 50 years, so I'm the greatest musician. I will argue time in position does not equal talent.
No, definitely not.
That's my opinion. That's what I'm at. That's my opinion. His hair looks great.
His hair looks more real than normal.
Yeah, I'll say the matter that's on his head looks great. Where it comes from, where it goes, nobody knows.
So important. The music appreciation, depending how far you're going to take it, if you're going to go professional or just have appreciation of music, I think is really important.
Absolutely. How would you like your legacy to live on? Right?
How would you like your legacy to live on? Better question. Do you have a legacy? Again, another wonderfully leading question. I'm sorry, Frank, if you're watching this, I'm really not trying to be an a-hole. This isn't my intent, but Leanne Rhymes barely has a legacy. She was a popular artist with millions of albums sold in recent years. To say Frank Stallone has a legacy, is that accurate?
Yeah, it's got all those videos, got all those boxing tips. He's leaving behind vast knowledge, Ryan. I don't know if you realize this.
The term legacy primarily refers to something that is handed down or received from a predecessor. Okay, so he's handing things down. So you got general influence, the effects of past actions, property or money. So do you think he has a legacy?
Dead animals he's leaving behind.
Yeah, well, Rob stands to inherit this legacy.
You're getting it, Rob.
Do you think Rob is in the will? Do you think Rob's in his will?
Not after our podcast. He might be giving him his hair, honestly. He might be leaving him the hair.
No, no. He's not giving Rob his hair. He's just giving the number to the person to call.
Listen, Rob, if he leaves you the hair, send the hair my way. I think I get a better use. You still got a nice thing on top. I look what I'm working with over here.
He gives him like this like golden chest with like the card of the person to call. I bequeath this to you, my son. The card to call these people.
Well, I think I stand behind what I always did. I never got into music for the money. It was never like, oh, I'm going to make money.
Oh, mission accomplished. Dom, he did it for the love of the craft. Okay,
love of the game. He's got the love for the game.
Love of the game. I didn't join the NFL for the $1 million. I joined it to be the water boy. You know,
right? Exactly.
I just wanted to be good.
Nope.
Sorry, Frank.
Because he just wanted to be good, not for the money. Okay, cool.
Have other guys that were good say, hey, you did really well. Stuff like
he's so desperate for to be acknowledged by the other greats, so to speak, to be other people like the people in Survivor saying, Frank, you did a good job, Frank. You played your instruments just well. It's to be validated by his peers, as he would say.
Listen, we know he's been in the same sentence with Michael Jackson, Thriller, the Beatles, all these sentences coming out of his mouth, obviously, but he's been in the same, conversation.
Don't forget the guy who played keyboards for the Stones and the Beatles played keyboards with Frank at one point.
Right.
Yeah.
So listen,
he
links
the stage
forever.
Yeah,
that
it's
links
6 degrees of Frank. That's how close he is to the Beatles.
that. So for me, that was the process. I mean, I think, of course you're a kid.
Look at that lady wandering.
She's back.
God, she's scary. It's kind of creepy. She's wandering around the background, and she isn't making next year's award.
I don't think she is, Ryan. I think we can say that confidently.
Actually, you know what? I think she might have been there last year. Oh, she died during COVID. That's why she's still wearing the mask. This is literally a ghost. She died wearing the mask.
I'm waiting for her to look directly at the camera into my soul, honestly.
Bless her heart, but what is she like? Who invited her? What's she doing there? I wonder. Okay. So she's still wandering around in that little 5-foot area. Is that weird to you a little bit that she's just wandering around?
So maybe she's waiting to meet Frank.
She might be. You're right.
And that's probably about the age of his fan base.
So for me, that was the process. I mean, I think, of course you're a kid, 15, you're going to meet girls. Normally I wouldn't. But, you're in a band. Hey, okay, you play guitar.
That's how he met Rob's mom. Yeah.
That's right. Funny story. I had this one night fling.
He always going on about meeting the girls. He's a ladies' man. He meet the girls. That's why I'm in a band, to meet the girls. Yeah.
But I did it basically because I just loved it. I dug it, man. I'm still doing it. I'll be 74 years old, and I'm still doing it. So
amazing.
Well, thank you.
You look amazing. Oh, thank you. That's why I arbitrarily brought up my age, just so I get that compliment from you. Thank you so much. And I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. Now check it out.
Thank you. They glue the hair to my head every morning.
Yes. Now, Dom, check it out. She does ask kind of like what he has going on. This is hilarious. Okay, she asks what products do you have going on right now? What do you think his answer will be?
Well, he's bringing up the whiskey, surely.
No, he doesn't even plug the whiskey. You won't be surprised when you hear the answer.
Thank you. I mean, but it was just something you're born to do. I mean, it's a rough road. It can be rough. There was more disappointments than big things happening, but
continues to be disappointment.
I love how he says there's more disappointments. Yes, because you had one hit. Everything else failed. It was the one hit and a lot of not hits. That's essentially what he's saying here.
You just keep plugging. I mean, I didn't have my first hit record until I was 33.
You keep plugging. Was he talking about his songs or his hair? I'm not sure what he
exactly. Keep plugging.
Again, we're speculating. We're not sure what we're speculating.
And I started at 15. But I don't, talking to the guys backstage, Shadows of Night. I remember when they opened for the Byrds.
Oh my God.
This is so funny. It's like I was talking to a band backstage who opened for the Byrds. What a weird,
yet again, just trying to connect himself though.
Yes, he's connected. Like I talked to a band who opened for the Byrds. Wow. This is actually a true story. Dom, did you know that I used to work at a restaurant with the drummer from a band who used to open up for Nickelback.
Oh, wow. So you're almost like in Nickelback. You could basically say that.
His name was Pete. He was the drummer. What was the name? The name of the band was Snuff.
Oh, Snuff. Nice.
They're actually pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie. They were pretty good, but they opened for Nickelback back in the day. So I knew the drummer for the band that opened for Nickelback in the early 2000s.
So you knew Nickelback. You helped them.
No. I just knew the drummer of the band.
Oh.
We talked backstage. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, we talked in the restaurant.
I mean, but it was a fun time. It was Beatlemania. And
Again, Tom, this is the best time to podcast. This is Joe Rogan's. This is Joe Rogan Mania and podcasting right now.
He jumps around a lot, Frank.
most young people don't understand. It was mass hysteria.
What is the camera
Is this person
doing?
falling asleep while they're holding the camera?
I mean, it was just Rodney gets it. He was there with around that area. It was something like it was the coolest time to be alive. First, the coolest time was Elvis.
Yes, that's
Elvis.
true.
And then we fast forward to '63. It was like, oh my God. I mean,
So, okay, he's just talking about he was alive when Elvis was popular, so were the Beatles. Okay, cool. I'm alive when Taylor Swift is the biggest artist in the world. So my life is good.
all of a sudden, everyone starts speaking with English accents.
Right.
Hello. The girls go, come on, get lost.
There's this third accent of the episode. There you go. I told you.
There we go. He's in impressions, man.
You got the Mike Tyson. We've got the
That was my favorite one, I think.
oh yeah, and then we got the English accent.
You know, combing our hair down so we didn't get pulled out of school, wearing pea coats and Beatle boots and white jeans like the Dave Clark Five.
Why is she laughing so much?
He's
It's not
loving.
funny.
He's loving that she's laughing so hard, though. He's rolling. He figures in his head he's doing like a stand-up routine right now.
Is she hoping to get Robert number 2? Is that what she wants
Ooh.
here?
I don't think you're Frank's type, honey. If you've seen his other videos, I don't think you're Frank's type.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. She might have a back that he's not crazy about.
He's probably gave her a lecture after this interview.
He probably said, "Hey, look, you have a pretty face, okay?"
But listen, you work out as hard as you laugh.
Yeah, if you pretend to laugh at my jokes as much as you do working out with that pretty face, you might go somewhere.
It was a whole movement. It was so much fun. I mean, you go to concerts. No one ever got in fights. Everyone just had fun.
What's he talking about? No one got into fights at concerts.
People definitely got like. There's a famous story about the
Rolling Stones.
the Hell's Angels killing people. Like this happened back in the day. Like.
It's the old thing we said it before, Frank. You're great. Everything was so much better back then. Everything sucks now. Enjoy the last 10 years of your life. You might as well, because you're going to be dead in 10 years. We'll, just enjoy it. Stop hating today. Stop hating today. Sorry.
I don't know. He's definitely going to take that as a threat one day.
Oh yeah,
He's going to be. He got 10 years.
Did you hear that, Your Honor? They're going to want me dead.
I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ashes.
As Frank's thinking, she's got a great big ass.
Do Al Pacino coming in and seeing Frank talking to her, and then
Frank, she got a great big ass.
oh my god! Oh, this is horrible.
What has this
horrible.
podcast become?
This is the worst podcast. I don't know why anyone would watch this garbage. Okay, let's.
My mom bought me a Nehru. I said, "Oh yeah, baby." Like a satin Nehru, and my hair was curly back then.
Always with the hair. His obsession with his hair.
Yes. Listen, your hair doesn't change. If it's curly or it's wavy, it's going to be that through life. What is he talking about? Because it's not the same hair, right?
It's not. I know.
So I was trying to straighten it, iron it, because I wanted to look like the Beatles, and it would look great until I hit stage, and then the humidity just go bang. So then when Hendrix came out, the Jimi Hendrix experience, it was cool to have like long curly hair.
Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm.
He said my hair went boing when humidity hit my hair. So it was great to see a black man come in with a fro, and then it was like cool. It was okay to have poofy hair thanks to Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
But for the first 3 years, it was torture. Ironing my.
Thank you, Jimi Hendrix, for making my poofy hair cool.
Hair did not have the cool Beatle Paul McCartney hair, you know, but that comes with the territory, you know.
What
Here's a very pointed question. Here we go.
do you have any projects that you're working on right now?
No. The answer is no. What should the answer be?
The answer probably should be the whiskey and the meat stick, right?
You should mention the whiskey and the meat stick, but this is the answer.
That you can talk to us about?
Did you catch his big sigh? Like, oh, fart. That's a big question.
I know what it's going to be now. It all just hit me.
Okay, let's see if you're right. But he does a big sigh like, oh boy, tough question. Here we go.
Do you have any projects that you're working on
Look at his
right
face
now that you can talk to us about?
Yeah, I mean, we have a series called The Family Stallone on Paramount Plus.
Of course.
Of course, of course.
That's the safest thing to plug. And look at her face here. Look at her face like, really?
I have a series called The Family Stallone.
Does that look like a face that's... She's probably like, what the F? That's not what I was asking.
It's like, this guy's full of shit.
We'd like to welcome you to the California Music Hall of Fame. I'm asking you about what any musical projects you have, not some reality TV show. That's what she was asking, music projects.
Of course.
Wish we were on a different network, but what can I tell you? So,
What?
I don't know what that means. Paramount Plus, of course, is Paramount. Great network, by the way. Great shows. Yellowstone's on that. There's some great TV shows around that network.
King.
Tulsa King. He wishes he was on a different network. Why? I don't know. He's never been on network television, but why is he fighting Paramount Plus now?
But
He
this is
literally
the thing. He's thrown, yeah, exactly. Whatever you're going to say, he's going to throw it under the bus. Like, this is not even his show. And he's putting them kind of in an awkward situation. No, like he's shitting on it. He's on the show.
and you know, and still doing films. You know, probably doing my 81st movie. You know,
I think he's talking about Veterans Day.
We have to see Veterans Day. I don't think it's getting a wide release though, Ryan. I don't know.
No. If and when Veterans Day gets released, we are watching that, of course, for our channel. Okay.
Mhm.
So he's talking about his film, his 81st film he's in.
and that, you know, that business, you know, the COVID thing changed everything as far as.
Now, this is very telling. Basically, he doesn't have an album coming out. He doesn't have any new music coming out. He doesn't have any tours happening right now. He's going to blame COVID and say, COVID not only affected me, and that's why you don't see my name on any bills right now, it's affected everyone. Did I mention Harry Styles, Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen? They're selling out stadiums everywhere right now. They're selling Billy Joel. People are selling out right now. COVID has nothing to do with
I'm going to see the Stones next month.
Make sure there's no Hell's Angels at the show.
I know, seriously.
Frank, you just have to acknowledge that you're not those things, but he's going to blame COVID for destroying his career. Check it out.
Concerts. I'm still doing concerts, but even the biggest acts were affected by it, you know, because it kind of just slowed down the momentum, and then we got to start all over again.
Right now, if you cannot buy a ticket to a Frank Stallone show, you can't. Can you?
No, I don't think so.
So he's basically saying COVID destroyed everyone's career. Everyone has to start over. Everyone has to start over. All their records were destroyed.
It was already destroyed, Frank.
But, you know,
didn't you two do like a hugest venue at the Sphere forever? Sold out every night forever. You
didn't know Frank Stallone's going to play at the Sphere?
Oh, I would go. If Frank Stallone's at the Sphere.
You'd hear the echo.
Alex would be there. Yeah, Frank, what the Sphere?
Frank, come on, it's a big ball.
You know, doing concerts and, you know, summer's coming up.
Where are you going to be?
Well,
look at her. She's like, she's now asking, lady, slow down.
Where are you going to be? And look at his face. He's like, fuck. That's what that face says.
Look at her face. She's like, enough of these excuses. Tell me where you're playing.
This is like the Frost Nixon interview.
He should say, I'm actually playing on this stage in about 5 minutes. Leave me alone. Wait, let's check out his answer here. So she's asking specifically, where can I see you? Where can I buy a ticket?
Unfortunately, not in California.
Not anywhere. He's going to talk about the Hard Rock casinos, but again, he's speaking about the past. He was there a couple of years ago, Dom. Mm-hmm. But he has a very clever way of like, well, I'm not playing anywhere in California right now where I'm being honored, but I did play at some Hard Rock cafes.
More like playing the Hard Rock circuit, like Florida and all of those places like that, which is very cool because we don't have to carry our equipment.
he goes back to that again. He said
Yeah,
that once before, right?
He's talking about the equipment again, meaning he's not touring. There is no equipment. There is nothing to bring. I almost feel bad. He should just say, I have nothing going on right now, but I'm looking forward to the future to doing something. Again, right now, I'm just taking a break. I'm taking a break.
Mm-hmm. That's all he has to say.
Really nice.
Yes, I would say.
And
Why is that really nice to have no equipment? So you're trying to tell me if he didn't have some sort of billionaire saying, look, I'll pay for a world tour, equipment tours and everything. He doesn't lift anything. He's not personally loading the van.
I don't understand that. So he's just hopping. Basically, all the stuff's there, I guess, at the Hard Rock.
Yeah, I guess. You're right. You're right. They might have equipment ready, like plug and play almost.
Right,
I didn't consider that. I didn't consider that, Dom.
yeah, that type of stuff, and just individual concert and shows. It's just doing whatever.
Yeah, one person shows up. That's the individual.
Oh, you're playing at the Hard Rock, the casino? No, I'm playing at the Hard Rock Diner.
You know, the corner of 3rd and Maple where the Hard Rock is located? Yeah, I'm outside on the corner playing.
I'm playing on a Hard Rock.
There's a really hard rock somewhere. I'm standing on it. It's in Atlantic City, mind you. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that type of stuff, and just individual concert and shows. It's just doing what everyone else is doing. I mean, even
doing what everyone else is doing. Again,
selling out Garden every night like Billy Joel.
Yeah,
doing what everyone else is doing.
Just what Billy Joel, U2, Bruce Springsteen, Rolling Stones, the normal stuff. Same thing. It's okay to say you're not these people. Again, we're not Joe Rogan, but we don't pretend to be. If someone says, Ryan, what's your numbers? I would tell them privately, and it's like, it's not Joe Rogan numbers, but I never
comparable though. It's comparable,
Yeah, it's comparable.
They keep us in the same sentence.
Yeah, that's why we have all these sponsors. Yeah.
the biggest bands are like doubling and tripling up. I mean, it's
so again, you get what he's doing here. He's talking about bands right now. They're doing like Motley Crue, Poison, and Def Leppard. They did that stadium tour. It does cut costs down, absolutely, and it does bring more people because you have 3 different bands playing for the price of one ticket. So, but that's happened all the time.
But those bands have been doing that for years because they hit every market, like you said.
Right.
Like
it's not uncommon. He's not wrong about that. However, but he's still not a part of that kind of bill. Like, who would he be billed with? The Bomba,
Journey, Frank Stallone.
What he's doing here, though, he's actually downplaying the big acts that are selling out stadiums by saying they're not doing it by themselves. So how would you expect me to do that when even Def Leppard, even though they are, but they are, you know what I mean by that?
They are.
Yeah, I know.
It's not easy to sell out a big place. So, you'll have Survivor, Styx, and REO together, or Cheap Trick and someone else. But they're good shows. They're great shows. So.
Yeah, they are good shows because there's good music being played by good bands. I don't know.
That's kind of what I'll be doing it until they said, when will you stop? I said, well, when I die, I guess.
Frank, you've been dead for 2 years. You haven't played in 2 years. Oh, man.
Well, are you going to be working with your brother at all?
Well,
ooh. I know. Look at the way she said it too. Why did she say it like it's almost like what she's doing here? She realized Frank has nothing going on with his music. So she's like, okay, music dead, done. Are you gonna have any hope? Could your brother pull you out of this at all?
Is your brother gonna help you out of this hole you're in?
The only thing that we did is the series.
Right.
But
well, he's struggling with this. He does not like these questions.
I started music before my brother got into movies. He's definitely gonna say that next.
Why did I tell you my brother was made fun of when he was a kid?
He was skinny arms. He didn't do much. I'm so surprised he doesn't bring up the whiskey here, though. What is
no whiskey, no meat stick talk. He's off his game.
That's about it. He's off doing Tulsa King.
King Tulsa King.
Yeah, and which he's lucky he's on CBS. Where
he's wrong. Tulsa King's on Paramount Plus. So this is where I'm so confused. He was mad. He somehow threw Paramount Plus under the bus. Then he says Tulsa King's on CBS, which is not. It's on Paramount Plus. Now, granted, CBS I think is owned by Paramount Plus. I think Paramount owns CBS the same way Disney owns Fox.
Right.
So he's conflating the two. It doesn't matter. For example, a show like Blue Bloods, which we watch, is a CBS show, but it's shown on Paramount Plus on our app.
Right.
Survivor, CBS, but it's shown on Paramount Plus, the app. Mm-hmm. So they're both the same company. I don't know which one's the parent company. What he's saying here, doesn't make sense. He's throwing CBS under the bus, but he's throwing both companies because they're both owned by each other.
Yeah, and which he's lucky he's on CBS, we're on Paramount Plus. I wish it was reverse, and I'd be playing more gigs.
He goes, I wish it was reverse, then I'd be playing more gigs.
Listen, he doesn't realize that Paramount Plus probably gets more viewers than CBS, honestly, some of those shows.
I think that's kind of what he's saying, is he's saying we would get more views on CBS, thus my exposure would be heightened. Frank, at the end of the day, it comes down to the product you provide. For example, my wife saw him on Paramount Plus, and my wife did not turn to me and say, you know what, after seeing him on Paramount Plus for the last week, can I listen to his music? Nothing came out of that.
She didn't get inspired to go see him in concert?
No.
If it was network.
Well, everyone knows who you are.
Oh, well, thank you.
Nope. Again, not true.
No.
So it was a wonderful.
Again, she sounds like she's trying to make him feel better. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Despite your lack of projects, your lack of music, your lack of roles, your lack of network presence, everybody knows who you are. You don't have the fortune, but you have the fame, sort of.
Everybody knows you sang Over the Fire in Rocky.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that, Frank.
You know how everyone introduces that scene? You see that guy singing? That's Sylvester Stallone's brother. That's how he's always introduced.
Well, thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
And enjoy this wonderful
I will.
I
will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, hon. Here's your shaving.
Frank, if you're watching, God, I hope you're watching. That was actually the funniest thing he said. He actually says, thanks for your shaving thing. He looks like the shaving brush.
That is pretty funny, Frank.
It is funny. I actually give Frank total credit. When I saw that, it made me laugh for real. Like, that was funny. He hands back that ridiculous looking microphone. Just take the stupid microphone back, which ironically, Frank didn't even work. But here we go. Here he is being inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in California.
I'm still here. Thank you. I'm going to do a song, one of the songs I wrote from Staying Alive called Never Gonna Give You Up.
Now, what I love, he does a little bit of a Joe Biden moment here. He doesn't quite know where to go. Watch it. Watch. He turns, hands the microphone over. He's like, okay. He gets his guitar.
Yeah, Frank.
He will grab his guitar and he won't look. There's like 500 mics on the stage. He doesn't know which one to go to. Do I go to the one at the podium behind the drum kit?
Now, what mic do I use?
What mic do I use? He yells out. I love it.
Anyone? Okay.
The stagehand comes out and says, yeah, that, oh, look. 5 different mics you can choose from. He chose that one.
Okay. Let's see if I still remember it.
So whoever's filming is laughing. I'm not sure if they're laughing at or with.
Gonna give you
Oh, you don't even. They didn't get the whole song.
No, I just fast forwarded.
Okay.
The whole song was played, of course. We're not gonna listen. Anyways, he plays it. They clap, and this, my friends, is how we'll end this episode.
God bless. Thank you.
So, Dom, before we close, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who listened to this. This was a fun episode. It was big. I apologize, but there were a lot of videos. We're going to be doing it 2 more weeks. We'll be doing more Frank and possibly episode 4 of the mini series of the Rambo cartoon. If Frank gives us too much stuff, we might just do Frank. I don't know, or he might give us nothing. Right now, we're caught up.
You never know. You never know, Frank. Honestly,
as of right now. Oh no! In 2 weeks, we're going to do the podcast. So yeah,
okay.
Yeah, the Cow Sills or whatever, the Cow Stills.
Right, the whatever podcast he was
the
on.
singing group of kids who are now 80. We're going to be doing he guessed it on their show. The hosts are older than Frank. It's going to be fun to watch. Until then, folks.
That concludes another episode of Frank Stallone. Who is this guy?